From Hollywood to your hood, public breakdowns are everywhere. But what if we turn gossip into growth? On Allegedly, we react to the wildest viral stories, celebs spiraling, influencers breaking down, and infamous moments you can't unsee. But we don't just watch, we work. We break it down, do the self-work, and find the breakthrough hiding in their mistakes. New episodes drop every Monday on YouTube at My Coach Ministry, because your healing might just begin with someone else's headline. Allegedly, where the breakdown is the beginning of your breakthrough.
Welcome to this segment. Thank you so much for staying with me so far. I'm Coach Raquel, and this is the segment Allegedly, podcast.allegedly.blog for more. All right. So before we get into this segment, I just want to say this: for this and all the other segments, I am very thankful to all the persons who are mentioned in this episode of the show today. I'm thankful for them, no matter what my position is on the relevant topics or the respective topics. It doesn't matter how I feel about what they did, said, or how they're performing or going on in their or living their lives. I value these people, and I value the inspiration or the indicator or catalyst that they provide that would then lead me to exploring the breakdown and to do my self-work so I can achieve breakthroughs. So I'm thankful for all the persons I mentioned in my episode today, and especially in this episode, Allegedly. And when I talked about Tabitha Brown earlier, I value her. So my conversation is not in any way meant to devalue, but is because I value who I contribute and or participate in the dialogue. So I just want to say that. So before we go forward, copyright disclaimer on the Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. And of course, we're going to be commenting. We use it for news reporting and teaching and research. All right, so we are now going to go to a video that I got it from TikTok, and when I listened to this video, I had to share it on my Facebook page because it really touched me, and I'm going to be talking about it today.
Here's a huge lie of the patriarchy that I fell for a long time. And it's the idea that men just inherently need respect, and so therefore if your partner, your wife, anybody brings a message to you and it's not delivered with respect and decorum and politeness, that therefore the message can be disregarded. What a joke. You probably heard the quote from Laurel Thatcher Ulrich that well-behaved women seldom make history. I wonder why that is. Right? It's because men will not hear anything that is delivered with politeness in a culture that reinforces constantly the power dynamic that we are in charge, right? So everything else that's delivered with decorum is able to be easily dismissed, right? Because now we're just chatting, we're just having a friendly debate. And whatever your idea is not my idea, and we can agree to disagree. And because I am the one in power, I get to do what I want to do. And if you come at me with any level of intensity or passion, then oh my gosh, you're just an emotional creature and you need to be under control and put in check. How sad. In fact, we did put women literally in mental institutions for decades because they were speaking up, and we called them insane. There's insanity here, but it was never the women. Never.
I was just going to let it play them because, to be honest with you, I literally feel numb. I'm so thankful to him for saying this. I wish I probably should go search for his account so that I could personally thank him for that, because being a woman, I'm not gonna cry. Being a woman in this world comes across as so problematic. Being a woman in this world feels like such a way, way, way down class citizen that it doesn't even have a number. And then if you are a certain kind of woman and you don't look a certain, and it goes, this is it, right? If you don't look a certain way, they have something to say. And if you look a certain way, they have something to say as well. Being a woman in this world, and the reason it saddens me is not because of how strangers operate, but it's men who I respect. And that's the betrayal for me, that I betray myself, because it's the men that I love and respect. They can be so dismissive. I've I've been so dismissed. I've had occasions to the point where I stopped talking to men. I am so, even at that, I'm a single person and I know I want companionship, but the thought of being with a man is so challenging for me, because it's like you're sacrificing. It sounds to me like to do it, you must sacrifice yourself. Because a lot of my experiences might not have been in intimate relationships, but I've also had business partnership relationships wherein the treatment is the same. They gaslight you. They don't listen. I was told I'm shouting, and I'm not even a shouter. And I didn't even know I wasn't a shouter because I believed it. I've had men who literally, in my soul, I know this person cares about me. I know they care about me, but I just couldn't understand how, if you care about me, you dismiss me, And it's been so refreshing experiencing men who, I talk about this person so often. He really is just a friend. But God bless him. He's one of my angels. I don't like the word friend, and the friend word is incorrect too. So I think he's more one of my angels. Somebody who is not necessarily in your life, but they're on the outskirts of it, or they pop in every now and again. Yes, he's an angel. And I remember, even though I had something to say to him, but I was so scared to say it. Because I'm so wordy, and then when I write a lot, because in my mind, I just want you to understand, I want you to understand what I'm saying and how I'm feeling, and I want you to know, because it's a good thing. It's not a negative. It's not a negative thing. And I remember I'd send him these WhatsApp messages very long, and one of the things that really made me respect this man is how he responds to me. I can tell by his response that he read everything. Because he responds to the first part, the middle part, the end, he responds to my messages. A proper response. Not, oh my God, the message is so long, I didn't get a chance to read it. Not, oh, I'm so busy. No. You know what I mean? And even my experience in business relationships where I was just treated so poorly, I wasn't treated poorly because I was seeking to get someone to do something for me. I was treated poorly because I had an interest in you, and I wanted you to win, and I wanted to support you, and I wanted whatever I was doing to benefit you, and I didn't want to just go off doing things on my own in a partnership. It's because I actually wanted to engage with you in your best interest. So when we had meetings, or if we had something about the business, but this is what I learned, right? Stop talking. If you're hitting walls, if your words are hitting against walls, stop talking. As a matter of fact, I have the series that I completed, 100 Dear Little Black Girl letters that I wrote because of these experiences that I've had. And in one of those editions, I think it's in the Guard Your Emotion. One of the letters I wrote is to help women, especially women like me, learn earlier that you're hitting a wall. Because yes, you can say, if you realize you're hitting a wall, leave. But I did not know I was hitting a wall. I didn't understand. So I kept asking, seeking more understanding. The poorer I was, the worse I was treated, was the more interest I had, because I wanted to, okay, what am I doing wrong? Tell me what to do. How do I work better with you? Because I'm thinking, it's not that the person does not want to work with me because they haven't left. It is that I am having communication issues. I am miscommunicating. No, dear, I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm not trying to add more to your plate. And the more I'm trying to talk, is the more problematic I seem to become, is the less they hear me. So we also have to teach young girls how to know when they're not being heard, because you first have to know that you're hitting a wall in order to stop. But sometimes we don't even know we're hitting a wall, because these men are not looking back to us and say, I don't want to speak with you. They're not saying that, and when you have you have good intentions, you're not thinking they have bad intentions. So it's about having the wisdom to know that this is wrong. This right here that's happening, this is not cool. This is not okay. This does not happen everywhere. It's just happening in your world. So you can change it, because sometimes we think it's normal. Sometimes we think it's normal because we're in environments that treat us so poorly that you don't even know which of the treatment is a poor treatment, or which of the treatment you should live with and which one should leave. Which one is the battle, which one is the war? Which one do you compromise on and which one do you not compromise on? And it took me a long time. And for the past three and a half years, I have completely disconnected from any kind of partnership with a man. Because one, I felt like when I'm with men, I'm incompetent. I feel incompetent. No matter how hard I try, no matter what the best interest I have, it's like you're not going to hear me anyway. It's like I cannot get you to hear me. No matter how I talk, you can't hear me. Different languages, and that's what I usually say to men, like, okay, we talk different languages. You can't hear me. You cannot hear me. And so when the thought of, I would like to have a good, healthy relationship, but I don't know that I have the capacity to allow myself to even venture there. I'm the one, I stand in my way, because I know based on the experiences I've had before, I just don't want to have that. I need respect. I need acceptance. I need to be valued. I need to know that I'm speaking with someone. I'm interacting with someone. I'm investing with someone who sees value in me and can hear me and can accept me for who I am. Yes, I'm worthy. I am. So tell me, how is the best way for me to speak with you? If talking to you makes it frustrating, tell me, do you prefer to write it? Like, give me those, but that's not what you get. What you get is the gaslighting, it's the dismissive behaviors. What this man said is so. If I've felt like a dog because of experiences I've had interacting with men I wasn't trying to get anything from that they didn't want to give me. Sometimes I'd sit down and I'm like, does this person think I want more than I do? Because I don't. And even I have a friend from my childhood, right? And I just deleted him from my phone and said, okay, Raquel, you know what, leave this alone. Now, this is someone that I just sent some kind words, because one of my angels, he lost some persons in his life, and then there was other person, and then I remember he also lost two important persons in his life, his mom and his brother. And he came to my mind after, the other person said to me what happened to them. And so I sent a message to him where I said, you know what, I hope you're thriving in your life. I hope everything is going well in your life, blah, blah, blah. Do I have it? I want to share what I sent. And he read it, and no response, not a word. Not a word. No, he has the right to, let me be very, very clear. Oh, I'm not going to find it because I deleted it. Let me be very clear. He has the right to not respond if he doesn't want to. But I think we have to teach girls, young girls and women, how to recognize that and walk away. Because one of the issues I had was I didn't know the times, I didn't know the indicators of walk away. I didn't know the indicators. So, for example, a thing like this, I'd be thinking, no, man, but this is somebody I've known from childhood. I'm not asking this person to be with me. I'm not saying marry me. I'm not asking you for anything. I just send you some nice thoughts. So I'm not thinking to myself that I'm going to start thinking, oh, maybe they're busy, man. Or why is he not talking to me? And then the next thing I wanted to do was to say, did I offend you? But then I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. He didn't respond. He's not wanting to talk. So the fact that he's not having conversations with you is because he doesn't want to have conversations with you. But it took me this long and working on myself to understand it. So what I'm trying to say is some persons who are still stuck in situations is not because they don't have will. Sometimes it's because they don't have awareness. They don't know, they don't realize that this action here, you don't need to understand further. This action, how did it impact you? How it impacted you is sufficient for you to make a decision for the future. Because I've had to separate from relationships, and then after that relationships, I'm reinvited to partnership. I'm reinvited to, and this person still come to me for services and stuff, but I know I can't go back because the treatment was so bad and I suffered so much. And that's why this conversation touched me, and I'm not fully over it, and I'm still going through my healing process. I've had my blood pressure spiked because I'm like, what did I do wrong? I was just kind to you. I was investing all my money into this thing we're doing. I wasn't asking for anything. I'm not making any demands. So why am I being treated so poorly? But I didn't have the awareness or the information to know it's not that deep. It is as simple as if you feel disrespected, walk away. If you feel dismissed, stop. It doesn't matter what their intentions are. What matters is the experience you're having. I just didn't know that. And I have a bachelor's degree and I have lots of certificates and lots of training, but I didn't know that. I did not know that because my heart was just at the right place, and I'm thinking, but this is somebody I care about. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to harm you. So why are you treating me so poorly? You know, I remember there was this guy that I once met, and I'm just not able to say, and this is it, right? If you listen to my podcast, you've heard me say multiple times, sometimes I don't know what to call the relationships I've had with men. I don't know when I was dating. I know 2 men that I dated, and that's because they made it clear we were dating, right? And it was for a period of time. But some other people that I've met, I don't even know if I can call it just dating or acquaintance for a while, because there was a specific guy that we were trying to figure out if we're going to date or whatever. For me personally, I just wanted to date. And by dating, I mean getting to know somebody. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to get to know you, and I wanted to enjoy the process of getting to know you. That was it, right? But I remember one day we were talking on the phone, and he kept, whenever I called, he would say he's busy. He would always be, I'm so busy. And I'm not saying he wasn't busy. He was busy, right? He was busy, yes. And I remember we were talking once because and I have to give him this, right? Whenever I said I'd like to talk, he would listen to me talking. What I would experience though is, oh my God, I'm forcing this man to listen to me. It didn't feel like someone with care and willingness chose and decided, hey, do you want to talk to me? It wasn't like that. I felt forced, like I have to have this conversation. So I didn't bully, but I said, I really need to talk to you. Like I asked for it, begged for it. I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful. Yeah. And I remember we were talking and he kept saying, no, you are a priority, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Or no, I don't know if it was priority. He said, or you're important to me. No, I am. It's just that I'm busy. But he was explaining, because I'm saying, if you don't want me to call, we don't have to. If you want us, because I needed clarity on what we're doing so I could know what to do. right? Because I'm not necessarily somebody who just disappears. So I'm like, do you want me to stop? Like, I can stop talking to you if you want me to. I don't have to call. I don't have to whatever. And he'd be like, no, that's not it at all. It's just that I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. Right? But in me, I'm saying, I hear what you're saying, and I see the messages you're sending me. This is somebody who sent me images of wedding dress, of people getting married, and ring pictures of engagement ring and whatever. And I'm sitting back like, but I just want to get to know you. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like this. There's this other stage you're talking to me at, but I'm here still trying to figure out if you even want to talk to me. You know? And so I remember one day we're having a conversation, and I said, okay, list for me the top 10 things that have you busy right now. And I remember when he was through listing his top 10 things that were priority for him, I said, you didn't say my name. And his response to me was, I feel cornered. And I'm there saying, I'm not trying to corner you. And I remember saying, I'm just trying to say to you, I want you to see where we're at and understand that it's okay. I really had that conversation with him because I wanted him to understand why I'm leaving or why I was going to disconnect, because I wasn't trying to hurt him. I just wanted him to know I wasn't trying to hurt you, but I'm going to disappear. Now, based on where I'm at now, I would have just walked away when he said busy one too many times without thinking of telling him I'm going. I would just disappear. And if he asks me why I disappeared, then I'd tell him. Because there's some men you disappear and they say nothing. And I'm going to be fair to the men that I've met. I've met some really nice men. Men who I've been able to communicate with, even when I'm scared and nervous. I don't know how they're going to receive it, but I've always been able to, even if it's a message that I send. But then I had to learn that there's some people who will just, communication is important to me. That's one thing I had to realize, how important communication was to me. Because for some persons, communication isn't that important. For example, the same guy I'm talking about, I think he is more of a kind of guy who needs to have you in his space for him to care. Or rather, change that, for him to show you he cares. Excuse me, like he has to have you in his space. You need to be in his physical world, right? So, and he said it, long distance dating wasn't for him. Got it. He has to date someone who is right here, right now. No, I cannot speak to what he would be like when you're in his physical space, because I've never spent that kind of time with him. Even though I visited, when I was there again, it was still busy, but again, I wasn't someone in his life. Like I said, we were just trying to get to know each other. So I can't assess what he would be like in a relationship. But I know that the dating process, I was not, and like I told him eventually, regardless of what he's trying to tell me, because, we have different positions on it, and it's okay. I wasn't it. That's my conclusion. The last time we spoke, he said to me, I just wasn't ready. That's his perspective, and I respect it. My position was, I'm not it, because for me, we weren't at any levels that was so unique that regular good treatment wasn't enough. I wasn't asking for special. Just regular. I mean, if my neighbor sends me a message, or if my neighbor says hello, I respond, hi. Like, it's just common courtesy in regular relationships, just day to day. We didn't get to any place where special or extra was needed. But at the same time, his conversation to me was so conflicting, because I'm thinking, you can't even take my call, but you're saying these things to me? What is this? And then this is what I did. I started saying, oh my gosh, I have no relationship experience. I really am not getting it. See what I'm saying? Is sometimes people don't stay because they don't have the will to leave. Is that they don't yet have the awareness or the understanding or the information to understand what is happening. So you just feel like it's me lacking something. I'm not lacking anything. your communication suck. And I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone with this poor level of relationship, of communication, because it's basic I'm talking about. And so the message for me from this is, I want to thank this man. I thank the people I've dated. I've thanked the people that I've gotten a chance to know, the people who have been so kind to let me into any area or any degrees of their life. And even for me to be able to tell this story, and I know I'm not going to be hated for it. But I didn't say any name or anything like that. So, and you know what? This is what I'm going to say also. I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh my God. I've had one relationship that I'll say was, I would call it deep dating, or a very long time span of dating, because I don't even want to call it a relationship, because now that I've gotten a better understanding, I've gone and done the work to research relationships and stuff. There's so many things we never did. So it wasn't a relationship, but it was serious dating. We really dated, right? I would even call it an affair, but not a marital affair, just an affair where it was about 4 years or whatever, but we never really lived together. We're in different countries, whatever. But I think, right, that no, based on where I'm at, and we stopped talking in 2012, 2012, right? And that was what, that was how many, 2012 is 2025. Well, 2020, 24, 12 and 12, 24, right? Yeah. Almost 13 years later. There's so many things I was disappointed with and stuff like that. But now that I look back, I'm like, hang on, man. Maybe he wasn't as bad as I thought he was. No, honestly, that is when I think I probably didn't have a lot of experience, because and maybe I got spoiled with that, because when I tell you that guy and he was living in the UK and I was in Jamaica, we were Skype professionals. We were on Skype 24/7, literally. I'm with him in the morning when he's getting dressed for work. I'm with him when he's running to get the train. I'm with him when he gets to work, when he's going back home from work, when he gets home, video, he's working, I'm working, and the camera is there. It's crazy. We literally, even though we were not in the same locale, in the same physical location, right? We were physically in each other's faces the entire time. When he's cleaning his home, the video is there. I'm seeing all of it, and we're talking like we're just two people talking. You didn't know that we weren't in the same space, right? When he goes into the car, the Skype is there. So we're still talking on the Skype. Like, it's now that I look back at it and I'm like, wow, like maybe that's what spoiled me so much. Maybe that's the reason. When I tell you, we invested time. And if you ever hear this, because gosh, I really truly wish that this person was still in my life in a way, like as a I don't like the word friend, but that kind of title, like I want to know that he's okay. Not for anything intimate at all, none at all, but I know that it's not possible. I know it's not possible because it's not possible, but we were so close. I remember if you're listening to this, you know who you are. I'm really sorry for what I said when you spoke to me the last time. He was like, you were my Raquel, but I'm just like, no, I was not your Raquel. We weren't married or nothing, but I think what he's trying to say is that, man, we were so connected through, like, when I tell you we never stopped talking. We had dates where we would cook the same thing, and he would record my favorite comedy, and we will then sit down on Skype. He's in his bed, I'm in mine, and we're watching it. I'm sharing this to say communication is so important to me. connecting is so important to me. It's intimacy for me, like being able to, and I'm telling you, the things I faced after that person, I never faced those things with him, nor the first guy I dated, who also dated me very well. But that dating experience was, they get up, get dressed, and we go somewhere together. That's what that was, and it was amazing. I really don't have a lot of complaints. It's just after those experiences, when I had to go learn myself, I, stumbled a lot through it, because I'm telling you, man, yeah. So communication is important just in regular life with regular people, even if it's not someone we're dating. Like, can we give someone the respect of listening to understand, and communicate your boundaries or your limitations so the other person can know, so it's not guesswork. I am busy Mondays to Fridays. The best time to talk to me, I can only talk to you once per week. And tell people, give people information if you want it. But I guess you'll do that if you want to keep them in your life. But you see, I don't want to make any assumptions either, because again, even this is it, right? This is what for me was very strange. Like, I can pick up the phone right now and call any one of those men that I had those painful experiences with, right? Which is why I say it was learning, because I'm not even mad at them. These were good men. But the communication thing and just the treatment, it was just something that is out of this world and very painful. If I pick up the phone right now and I call and I say, I need you to drop everything because I gotta talk to you, I'm telling you, they will talk to me. They will. I couldn't do that though, because for me, being wanted is critical for me. So it cannot just be I call you and your answer so great. No, I have to feel like you want me. You want to have a conversation with me. You want to engage with me, because you talk to me even when I don't talk to you. If you don't talk to me except when I talk to you, that's an indication to me that you want nothing. No, you don't want a relationship with me. That's it. You don't want a relationship with me. It doesn't make me right. It's just how I interpret it. It's just how I receive it. But I give people grace. And that's why I say I'm thankful for these people, because at the end of the day, it's just my perception. It's my understanding. It's my interpretation. It's not necessarily when you sit with these. I'm telling you, the people. I had a business partner who, oh my God, I've had the most painful times with that person. But he's one of the sweetest, most amazing man that I've ever known. And I'm telling you, if I call him right now, he'd be like, Raquel, what's up? What's happening? Talk to me. Like, he's ready. So that's why I felt like what I had concluded was men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That's what I concluded. Like, you know what? And these people, I remember that same guy that I talk about when I told him to list the priorities. I remember when I finally called him, when I felt that I was able to communicate effectively what I'm trying to say, because I thought I had a communication issue. So long after working on myself, I felt like, okay, maybe now he will understand me. I think I've worked on myself and worked on my communication. And I remember I called him one day and I said, I really, really want to talk to you about how I felt, whatever. And could you please talk to me? And I'm telling you, that guy talked to me for over 2 hours, listened to me for over 2 hours. Let me put it out, because he was not talking. I could literally hear while I was talking to him, he was up against the wall. Like you're standing your back against the wall. And I literally heard him slid down the wall and just collapse to the ground. And I remember it was when I said, I felt like a dog interacting with you, communicating with you. You made me feel like a dog. I wasn't saying that to hurt. I'm just clearly stating what was happening with me. And I love him for allowing me to just say what I had to say. And when I explained, I don't blame you for this. This was my interpretation and perceptions and how I received it. He didn't treat me like a dog. I interpreted the experience that way. And I remember he sat and he listened to me the whole time. And I remember it was I think 2 years later or so, he called me and he's like, I understand. Something to the effect of I'm so sorry. I am so, so sorry for what I did. I'm so sorry. Like, almost as though he understood now. Sorry. Sometimes when we love people or when we care about people, and for me especially, like if I love you and I think, like, I see you, like you're going through something or whatever, and I used to have some visions of him like he's dying or so, and I used to have these bad, like, these images, and I'd be like, what is, I used to pray for him so hard. I didn't know what was going on, but you know, when I would try to reach out or whatever, it would seem so difficult, and I'd be like, God, why are you doing this to me? What is this? Is this something I'm doing to myself or whatever, you know? So I was so thankful when he called me back and was like, I'm so sorry, you know, I'm sorry. That guy was a guy who these prayers that I wrote in this book, when I was so sick of calling him because I felt so badly, one of my friends said to me, just start writing them down, Raquel. You know, just write them down. The dreams, the prayers, just when they come to you, just write them down. So I wrote it down and I put it in a book. And maybe that was the purpose of it, you know, because I just felt so bad. And I was so thankful when he, you know, contacted me and apologized for it. I'm saying 3 things I'm going to say, and I'm going to end this. Let's listen to understand, number 1. Acknowledge what you're feeling, but just remember that they're your feelings, and the other person, no matter how they're behaving, is not necessarily feeling that way. And number 3, find out the purpose of the disconnect, because sometimes there's a purpose. For example, what I'm saying, the book, maybe he was what inspired the book, but that inspiration, his behavior led me to writing a book, and I thank him for that. See what I'm saying? So if he wasn't interacting with me the way he was, so sometimes, you ever hear when it's in the Bible where it says God hardened Pharaoh's heart? Sometimes God used somebody for an inspiration for us, and then he disconnects it. I don't know. That's the best way I know how to say it, right? I'm running out of time, but 1, listen to understand. 2, remember what you're feeling is not necessarily what the other person is conveying. So be clear on your feelings, but don't don't agree with the assumption. Don't assume and make a conclusion and agree to it and say, yes, that's the fact. No, it was your experience. And number 3, remember there's a God that sometimes intervene and create something else. And so it has really helped me understand that people are people, and people are wonderful, and they're really not trying to hurt. And the patriarchy hurt both men and women, not just women, but it hurt us both, because or maybe it's helping us and we don't understand. I do not know, but I trust God with it. This is God. Ultimately, God is in control. And so I love that we can acknowledge it and we can check ourselves and take accountability. But in the end, once we understand that people are trying, and we don't demonize, and we don't ostracize, and we don't marginalize. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you for being here with me today. It's been a pleasure. Oh my gosh. I've run completely out of time, but I just want to say thank you. I'm Coach Raquel. Please remember to like, share, comment, and let me know what your thoughts are. I look forward to seeing you in the Calm Collective. The Calm Collective. Join now at mycoachministry.com. Goodbye. Mwah. I love to open new packages. There will be the latest information on the top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me. I'm Coach Raquel, and this is a passion project for me, so I am so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching.
Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Raquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.
Welcome to mycoachministry.com. We're on a mission to empower 1 million purpose-driven entrepreneurs, turning calling into currency. Through strategic coaching, we guide visionary leaders, brand elevation, and creative empowerment, helping leaders break barriers and own their identity. Build impactful, wealth-generating brands that echo across generations.